Have you ever been in a conversation where you felt like the other person was just waiting for their turn to speak? You know, that awkward moment when you're pouring your heart out and they're nodding along, but you can just tell their mind is somewhere else? It's frustrating, right? It's like you're talking to a wall, and it makes you question whether what you're saying even matters. That's where active listening comes in, and trust me, it's a game changer. So, what exactly is active listening? It's not just about hearing words, it's about truly engaging with what someone is saying. It's about being present in the moment and making the other person feel valued and understood. Think of it like this. When you actively listen, you're not just a participant in the conversation, you're a partner in it. You're creating a space where the other person can express themselves freely, and that's powerful. Now let's break down how to be an active listener. First off, it starts with your body language. You might not realize it, but your nonverbal cues speak volumes. Face the person you're talking to, make eye contact. I know, it can feel intimidating sometimes, but it shows you're genuinely interested. Nod occasionally to show you're following along. It's like giving them a little encouragement saying, "Yes, I'm with you." And put away your phone. I mean, come on, nothing screams, "I'm not listening" more than scrolling through social media while someone is sharing their thoughts. Next up, the power of reflection. This is where you paraphrase or summarize what the other person has said. It's not just about repeating their words. It's about showing that you've processed their message. For example, if your friend is telling you about a tough day at work, you might say, "So it sounds like you felt overwhelmed by your workload and frustrated with your boss." This not only confirms that you're paying attention, but it also gives them a chance to clarify if you've misunderstood anything. It's like a little check-in that deepens the conversation. Now, let's talk about asking open-ended questions. Instead of just saying, "Oh, that's nice," or "Really?" Dig a little deeper. Questions like, "How did that make you feel?" "Ui, us engayen hi," or "What do you think you'll do next?" Encourage the speaker to elaborate. It shows that you're invested in their story and want to understand their perspective. Plus, it opens the door for a richer dialogue. And who doesn't love a good conversation that flows naturally? Another crucial aspect of active listening is empathy. This means putting yourself in the other person's shoes and trying to understand their feelings. When someone shares something vulnerable, it's easy to jump into problem-solving mode, but sometimes all they need is for someone to acknowledge their feelings. You can say things like, "I can't imagine how tough that must be for you," or "It sounds like you're really struggling with this." This validation can be incredibly comforting and shows that you care. Lastly, remember that listening is a skill that takes practice. It's not something you master overnight. You might catch yourself zoning out or thinking about what you're going to say next. That's okay. When you notice it happening, gently bring yourself back to the conversation. It's all about being mindful and making a conscious effort to engage. In a world where distractions are everywhere, being an active listener can set you apart. It builds trust, strengthens relationships, and creates meaningful connections. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation, take a deep breath, be present, and remember, listening is just as important as speaking. Let's create a culture of understanding, one conversation at a time. You've got this!